The boy who could talk to the stars. My mother told me stories about before the three realms were made. Stories that were passed down for generations. They all had one thing in common. The stars. I sit in the observation tower, staring into the night sky. Most of it has a dark navy hue. However, the realms of life and death create a spark of color. The realm of life sits in the left part of the sky. White, gold, green, blue. All colors of life create an eye of life up in the sky. Opposite to this is an eye of darkness, an eye of death. The realm is full of reds and oranges and blacks, showing everyone that life is not forever. The stars are what connect us humans to the other two realms. My mother told me that our ancestors were the first to talk to the stars. They used to tell them stories and wishes and prayers, hoping that somehow, someway, the stars would hear them and respond. And they did. That's how the three realms became separate. Humans used to live among the angels and the devils, the entities that now only inhabit their respective realm. War was constant between the two godlike races, with humans being caught in the middle of it. Our world turned to ash. Darkness took over. Hope started to fade from people. My ancestors didn't lose all hope. They went high into the mountains and prayed to the stars that the war would stop. That prayer was answered. My family, the Atala family, is the only family who can talk to the stars. The name Atala means gift of God. My name Tarak means bright star. My sweet mother said that I was a bright star, one that was gifted by God. I am blessed to receive the gift of talking to the stars, letting them help and guide me down the right path. Stars have a soul that only our family is connected to. We don't know why our family was chosen, but we cherish the gift dearly. As the stars and the two realms stare back at me, I can't help but wonder why the war started. Only recently have I gained the ability to talk to the stars. I take a breath, letting the cold air fill my burning lungs. The angels and the devils of the realms of life and death have been feuding since before humans came to be. I know this is true, but oh great ones, why? Why would they try so hard to see the others fall? What could one possibly gain from destroying the other? The wind picks up the slightest bit, and the stars start to twinkle and sink. I close my eyes and feel the connection we share. We hear your question, bright star. Life cannot exist without death. Death cannot exist without life. This is what we know. However, we hear your confusion, but the feud between the angels and devils is an ancient one. Us stars can't explain it. I stare into the sky, seeing the stars shine bright, almost mocking at how they can watch, but us humans have to experience the pain that is life. Oh great ones, you speak of not knowing, but you are the only ones who know. You are the watchers and see everything, from the start of time till the end of it. So please enlighten me. How can you say you're all-knowing, but can't answer a simple question? What caused the war? The answer to your question is not one we can explain, because it is not ours to share. You will have to seek the leaders of the realms of life and death to find out the truth. I stand confidently and stride towards the thick stone railing on the balcony. I want to understand. This question has been plaguing my mind ever since I learned about the war. How do I seek these leaders? For they are across space, across the void. We offer you this wisdom, bright star. Shall you connect with time? You shall connect to all. Everything is connected, but have yourself attached back into time. Do this, and your consciousness will be able to travel freely, letting you gain the knowledge you seek. Time. I'm supposed to connect to time? Just as I'm about to speak again, the connection fades. The stars go back to their twinkling patterns, leaving me alone with these thoughts clouding my mind. I don't know how long I sit in the observation tower. Time is not important, well, at least the running of it. My connection to it, however, could lead me to great knowledge. Days pass, but nothing happens. I focus on history, the past, the now, the present, the future, our fate. I inspect every aspect of my life, and every detail in my mother's stories. The thoughts flow like a raging river, but I let my mind wander, allowing these timeless memories and thoughts to fill every inch of my soul. My eyes have been closed since my talk with the stars. Now I open them, and the two realms look back at me. Not like before, no. Two actual eyes blink slowly at me. You are the bright star, the boy who can whisper to the stars. I nod, unable to push a single word past my lips. Well, Star Whisper, you are now more. Boy, you have a gift. No humans had been able to truly connect themselves to time. For even us gods thought it was an impossible task. By letting time go, you have found out what it means. They're right. Time doesn't feel real anymore. Like I'm just here, floating in nothing. Seeker of knowledge, we shall give you the answers you seek. A wind blows on my face, like the giant face is sighing. The war between the angels and devils started because of the stars.
4:03 p.m. May 8, 2022. An overcrowded metro compartment. Next station, Park Street. The exit will be on the right side. The computer voice echoed through the air-conditioned coach. Sunil leant on the cold metallic pole, clutching the metal handle to steady himself against the departing crowd. The crowd dissipated, replaced almost instantly by a new wave of passengers. It was a Sunday, so most people were dressed in casual clothes or had dressed up for outings with friends and family. Sunil himself was returning from his aunt's house. He glanced at the passengers boarding at Park Street Station. Park Street was generally considered a hub for work, monuments, and posh clubs, so you would witness many kinds of people here, ranging from young couples dressed in flashy Western clothing, daily office workers, families, and so on. So, Sunil was curious to see what kind of people he was traveling with. First, his vision caught a lady in a silver dress that hardly covered to her knees, wearing black heels, and a glossy red lipstick. She had her hair slicked back and carried an LV handbag. He pondered if that bag was a genuine one or not, but as his eyes shifted, he noticed all the old men were ogling her. This made Sunil uncomfortable, prompting him to realize how people treated women and leaving him feeling a bit ashamed. A few stations went by. The coach became emptier as people started off boarding. Sunil pulled his phone out to look at the time. It was 4:21 p.m. He let out a sigh and looked toward his right side, hoping to catch the scenery outside, but what met his eye was something much better. It was a girl, probably the same age as him. The girl wore an olive hoodie, navy blue jeans, and sneakers, and she had her red bag in front of her to help her move through the crowd. She had a neat bob-cut hair, with her left bangs about chin length. The dark hair was a contrast with her fair skin. She lightly adjusted her red pair of glasses and peered out of the window. Such a simple action of hers exuded such beauty and maturity, unlike anything he had ever experienced. Her eyes stared outside, uninterested. Her light pink lips had no emotion. She had a stern and knowledgeable look, which only intrigued Sunil more. Perhaps it was intuition, but the girl soon sensed someone watching her. She instantly got back from her daze and locked eyes with Sunil. As the cliché goes, it felt as if time had stopped for Sunil, but in reality, it was the metro as it had just reached Shyambazar. Another crowd came hurrying into the coach, but he had his eyes fixated on the girls. Initially, the girl's stare was so harsh as if it was throwing daggers at him, but his intent slowly melted that anger away. They slowly averted their eyes. Sunil looked up at the ceiling of the coach. A swift breeze from the air conditioner above ran down his face. The cold air helped him calm down. Questions ran across his mind. Should he approach her or let her fade away with the crowd of people he faces every day? After many debates with himself, he couldn't make up his mind. He pinched his left hand in frustration with his indecisiveness as he heard the computer voice announce his station, Dum Dum. With all hope lost, Sunil turns towards the exit, but to his shock, joy, or wonder, the girl also got off at Dum Dum Station. Dum Dum, being the busiest of any metro station, was overcrowded with people struggling to get past one another even on a Sunday. Sunil soon lost the girl's view and was left devastated. He woefully inserted his token into the slot and grabbed the receipt before going to the train platform, from where he would take a train to Sodhpur, his hometown. Sunil made his way past the ticket counter, still let down from earlier, and slowly climbed the stairs to platform number 1, when he noticed the girl also taking the stairs, but to the women's section. Sunil raced through the rest of the stairs to catch up with her, but once again, God had another plan, as his train, the Barakpur local, arrived just on time, which was unheard of. He tried running past the mass trying to get on the train, but couldn't as he was forced to get on the train. If she had not gotten off at Dum Dum, it wouldn't have hurt so bad. If she had not gone to platform number 1, it wouldn't have hurt so bad. But after getting so many chances, I still missed her. Sunil cursed himself, as he was the cowardly one, not mustering up the courage to strike up a conversation. 20 minutes had passed. It was Sodhpur station. Sunil got off the train and started walking towards the subway exit. He was slowly walking down the platform, still thinking about her. He sighed heavily and shook his head as he stepped forward, droves of people walking past him. Train number 381459 will be coming on platform number 1. Please keep a safe distance. An announcement was made. Sunil instinctively turned his attention towards the megaphone, from where the announcement was being played. As the announcement finished, Sunil turned away. A familiar face stood in front of him. It was that girl. The girl's eyes were now laced with a sense of relief. Her lips curled up into a light smile.
The city was loud tonight, so loud that if you listened long enough, you'd hear your own heartbeat echo back in the glass windows and broken neon. He liked it that way. The noise covered his thoughts. The lights made his shadows dance where no one could see them. In another life, maybe he'd have stayed obedient, sat where they told him to sit, answered how they wanted him to answer. He'd have worn the crown they forged for him, that circle of steel they called expectations. Maybe he'd have bowed his head forever, like everyone else. But he didn't, and now every step he took was proof that regret could never chain him for long. He paused under a flickering street lamp, cheap cigarette in his mouth, not lit, just there to bite down on when the world got too bitter. In his pocket, there was a letter he never sent to the people who once called him son, student, success, disgrace. The same people who'd forgotten he had a voice that didn't match theirs. He smiled, just a little, enough to break the cold. The city could roar, the shadows could talk, but the road under his feet, that was his alone. Tomorrow he'd fight again, for a job maybe, or a dream, or just to stand taller than the man he was yesterday. He'd love, lose, build, destroy on his terms. No borrowed crowns, no second-hand hopes. If they asked him who he was, he'd tell them nothing. They'd see it when he passed them by, walking that cracked concrete street. A man without apologies. A man who did it his way. A man who still does. Perfect, you brought it back. Good. Let's honor that exact tone. Your My Way in black ink is urban, defiant, not feudal. The spirit is the same as vagabond solitude, but modern, hard-bitten, city-lit. The regret is there, but it's a living regret, not a deathbed sigh, but a restless promise. So here's the second scene, matching yours precisely. Morning hits him like loose change in a tin can cheap, loud, never enough. He hasn't slept. He never does, not all the way. The bed is too soft for a man who learned to rest with one eye open and his back to the wall. Coffee burned, shirt wrinkled, smile practiced. In the cracked mirror by the door, he runs a hand over the stubble he won't shave yet, tomorrow maybe, or the day after. Behind him, a stack of unpaid bills leans against a half-packed bag. He knows he'll carry that weight somewhere else soon. He always does. Out on the street, the city hums, engines, horns, footsteps that never look up. He lights the cigarette this time. Smoke cuts the cold. He wonders who he'll meet today, which boss to nod at, which stranger to stand beside in line, which door to knock on until his knuckles split. He still carries the letter in his pocket, the unsent one. The words bleed through the paper's folds like an old wound he keeps poking so it won't heal pretty. An old scar that reminds him why no chain holds. He likes the reminder. It keeps him hungry. It keeps him awake. It's not regret that weighs him down, it's regret that burns behind his ribs, pushing him forward when the city would rather bury him quiet. Someone brushes past him, mumbles an apology. He almost laughs. No apology has ever saved a man like him. He flicks the cigarette, half finished, into the gutter. There's work to find, a life to make, a regret to wear like a badge. One more step on broken pavement, one more promise to himself, loud enough to drown the city's roar. My way, always. And the street swallows him again, a ghost in daylight, a name you won't remember. But he remembers, and that's enough.